Alrighty guys, good to have you back on another video of NieR Reincarnation, and today is the day the crossover from Persona 5 Royale released in NieR Reincarnation, and we want to talk about the characters. So let's start with Joker here. So we can see pretty good HP pull, 8700 attack, that is like celeb NieR Re level, so very high. Respectable defense, agility 1000. So let's have a look at his character skill. You're Mine, God level C. Deal 200% damage to an enemy 4 times, damage 60% increased when HP is below 50%, reduce defense by 30% for 30 seconds. So right off the bat, this is actually very good character skill. He is comparable to EX Levania, and when you reach his HP threshold, so you go below 50%, he actually deals 1200% damage, compared to Levania, who deals only, quote-unquote, 1000 damage. So Joker is already higher. On top of that, he also gives the same defense break to the enemy. So he's a good replacement for Levania in Subjugation Wave 3, because he also has Vigor 25%, so that's why his attack is so high. And he has Pursuit, damage up by 40% on chain attacks of 3 or more. So he is actually a very good EX Levania replacement. He deals more damage with his character skill. He deals also more damage because of the Pursuit buff on top of his character skill. If Levania deals, for example, 20 million damage in Subjugation with his character skill, Joker deals somewhat around 40, so almost double that. Yeah, he's actually pretty good for this. Some people might think he's comparable even to Celeb Marie or Celeb Gale, and yes, by the looks of it, he kinda is, but the problem is Pursuit here really, because in Subjugation you tend to use offhand weapons, so your auto attacks deal only 1 hit, and Pursuit requires you to do 3 or more, so he doesn't get a damage buff unlike Bold Vigor on auto attacks of 1 hit. That's why he's not that suited as a pure DPS unit in Subjugation as like Celeb Gale or Celeb Marie, but he's a better unit than EX Levania. His third passive is Void Rush, increases the stats of equipped Dark Affinity weapons by 20%. Pretty meh, you don't really need his third passive here. His Debris is Vigor, attack up by 10%, nothing special. His weapon has a Blitz ability on skill 1, a self-buffing weapon skill 2 with 30% attack up for 30 seconds. The abilities are Vigor 15% and Pursuit, damage up by 15% on chain attacks of 3 or more. It also has a barrier skill. The attack is pretty high at almost 3000 for a one-hand sword, and it's definitely kinda good of a sub-weapon with Vigor and Pursuit. So not bad of a weapon actually. Then we have Queen, Virtuous Priestess. Low HP, but very high attack at 8800. Good defense above 5000, agility 1000. Her character skill is pretty basic, but it has a lot of firepower, pun intended. Deal 200% damage to one enemy 4 times, and damage is increased by 100% when the target has Burn. So without Burn it is 800% damage, and with Burn it is 1600 damage. This is top level character skill damage here. Her abilities are Vigor 25%, same with Joker, and Ambush, crit rate up by 25%, same with Summer 063Y. Her third passive is Blaze Rush. Again, not that great. You don't really need the third passive here. And her debris is a pretty basic ambush, crit rate up by 5%. So what is a good comparison for Queen then, when EX Lavanya is a good comparison for Joker? A2. Because A2 does have quite the same character abilities right there. Vigor, but only 20%, and Ambush, but only 20%. So 5% each more for the character abilities of Queen. And let's just read the character skill of A2. It is 130% damage times 4, deal an extra 40% damage on a crit hit. So this equals to slightly under 800% damage. So Queen, without the burn status applied to the enemy, deals 800 damage. So without the burn, she's still better than A2 in this aspect. She deals more damage with her character skill and has 5% more crit. So she's a very good damage dealer, if you consider A2 still a very good damage dealer. Her fists are pretty good as well. It has the burn on skill 1, deals 65% damage 5 times. And it has a self-buffing vigor effect on skill 2 with 30% increase for 30 seconds. The abilities are 15% vigor and 15% crit rate, which is actually pretty good. This is almost EX level with EX Fierce Fists. And it also has a barrier. The attack at 3600 is very high, and she really shines in fire teams because there are many fire weapons to inflict burn status to the enemy. One of which is actually a pretty good 3-star staff. This one right here. Was Chronicle 6. It has a burn on skill 1 and an AoE attack buff on skill 2. So it's not a bad idea to pair this staff on a unit with Queen on your fire team in Subjugation. And I do want to talk about Fox as well. He's the 4-star handout unit you can get from the record event with the new Persona 5 Royale story, and he is a pretty good water support. His character skill reads 110% damage times 4 and increases water damage received by 20% for 30 seconds. So this is of course for the enemy, and yeah, like I said, he's a pretty good water support. But we already have like kind of the same water support in the game, and this is Abstract Girl. This Fio actually has kind of the same character skill, 170% damage times 3, and this is increased by 80% if you have a status ailment. And she also does the debuff Crush, so that the enemies receive more water damage for 30 seconds, and this is 20%. So actually the same amount with Fox. And she also has 20% ambush, but as you can see, she does have low attack, so not that good of a damage dealer herself. This Fox actually has pretty good attack, I think, when maxed, so it's a very nice handout unit if you need more water support in your Subjugation team. Are these characters worth it in the end? So the question here is, do you have a well-developed account, or did you just start off the game with the collab, or did you start the game quite a few days ago with the celeb banner still going on? And we have to differentiate, because for beginners, these two characters are very good, okay? Joker, like I said, a better version of Lavanya. Queen, a better version of A2. If you have a new account, these two characters are definitely worth it to pull on. They are amazing. They have a reduced mythic slab cost of minus 75%, which is huge, especially for new players. But for veterans like me, these characters, despite their being good, they are not a must pull, because we have so many characters now in the game, and I, as a free-to-play player, have so many different costumes. I'm not really depending on getting 2 more good units on my account, because in the end, even for subjugation, you can really only use 9 costumes at a time. So it doesn't really add that much value to my account as a veteran player that I get like the 11th, 12th, 13th good unit. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, why are these banners now in maintenance? So they said there are some issues with the banner, and I quickly go over why there is an issue here. So first off, the paid banner, as you can see, the description above reads, crossover character guaranteed upon summoning a 4-star. So if you read the description right here, you might think, okay, if I pull a 4-star, it is a crossover character guaranteed, right? And this wasn't the case with the paid banners. I didn't do any pulls on them. As you can see, I have still 10 remainings, and as I'm free to play, I don't spend any money on the game for various reasons. But I saw with other players, they did the paid pulls and they got weapons only, so like C1 blade and all the stuff, but not a crossover character guaranteed. So this is actually a false advertisement right here, and they will definitely get a refund for this. The thing with the free gems banner is probably, I'm not 100% sure on this, but probably the skill description on the second skill of Joker's Rebel Knife. It reads, Rebels Bold Vigor ×4. And as you can see with the skill description, there is no Bold Vigor in here. So Bold Vigor usually means stay above X amount of HP and you deal an increased amount of damage. And this is only increase your attack by 30% for 30 seconds. So what the skill actually has to read is like the same with Celeb Sario's staff. It has basically the same skill on skill 2, and this is called Last Vigor. Increases your attack by 30% for 30 seconds. So the right name for the skill should have been Rebel's Vigor without the bolt in it. I'm not quite sure if this justifies a refund if you have pulled on the banner before it went into maintenance, but my guess in the end is there won't be any refunds for the free gems banner, because you have to click on the skill and then you see the name of the skill, but you also see the description. So I don't think there is a case of false advertisement here, but let me know in the comments if you have a different thought on this. Will I spend on them regardless? Yes, probably I will. But I'll say to you, I hold off on my gems and my tickets for now, because I'm not quite sure if these 2 characters are at the end of the collaboration. Because what I find odd here, and tell me in the comments if you think the same or if you have a different opinion about this. The banner lasts until the 13th of October. But the half-stomach consumption campaign only lasts for 16 days. And another thing which crossed my mind is that these shards here, they are called Persona 5 Royale Crossover Joker/Queen. And why would they label these shards with Joker and Queen specifically? So I have some kind of Christmas Arceus vibes, and if you think back to December last year, we had a Christmas banner with Lavanya and Theo, and 2 weeks after we got another Christmas banner with Christmas AKH, and literally no one had gems left because everyone was pulling on the Levania and Fio banner. And the last thing I wanted to talk about in this regard is actually the record event. If you have played the normal difficulty all the way up to quest 10, you might find yourself in some sort of a cliffhanger. At least I got the feeling. So I think there is a decent chance we might get a second record event with a second banner. So maybe hold off on your gems as well. I mean, at least that's what I'm doing. So I cannot force you to do something or to think about something that you should or you should not. So it's just an advice from me. It's just a thing that crossed my mind. Let me definitely know in the comments down below what you think about the situation. And yeah, I'm happy to hear your thoughts on this. Other than that, I wish you a nice rest of your day. Good luck with your pulls if the banner is up again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!